Oh my stars.
Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez go the distance.
Guys, we know what we just saw. Bud Crawford just beat Canelo Alvarez. Let's see if the judges agree.
And when
We gotta talk. I know for the longtime viewers, you have questions on where the hell I've been. We'll talk about that in the stream, but we're here live real time, 1:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Bud Crawford has just done something that will surpass anything Floyd Mayweather Jr. has ever done in his career. Moving up, I guess you can say pretty much, what, 3 weight classes? 4? He fought Errol Spence 2 years ago at 147 pounds, became undisputed at 147 pounds. Went up to 154 pounds and faced one of the most dangerous technical boxers in Israel Madrimov, and then skipped 160 pounds, went to 168, and just beat Canelo Alvarez on my cards 9 rounds to 3. For those who follow me on Twitter, or for those who don't, excuse me, let me fix that. For those who don't follow me on Twitter, I picked Crawford to win. They're on commercial break, by the way. We're waiting for them to read the cards, and do not be surprised if there's a wacky scorecard. I picked Crawford to win is because, and I'm going to go into detail in my live stream after this, is because I never really viewed Crawford as a legitimate 168-pounder. And for those who know Crawford and has followed his career, at least as long as I have, for about the last decade or so, he's a very strong, technically sound dude. He also lives boxing. He lives the sport of boxing. I'm getting all kind of text messages and everything. But I'm in shock. And he took all of Canelo's best punches. I'm in shock. Let's listen to the scorecards because I know it's probably going to be some shadiness. He stood toe-to-toe with him, outboxed him, ate his punches, wobbled Canelo a couple of times, kind of wobbled him, sparked him a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. Steve Weisfeld scores at 116 to 112. Max DeLuca and Tim Cheatham both have it 115 to 113 to the winner by unanimous decision.
Kind of generous.
The Fighting Pride of Omaha, Nebraska, USA.
He did it. You got to be happy for him.
An undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, Terrence Bud Crawford.
Let's listen to the post-fight interviews. We got a lot to talk about. And the rematch will go the same way, in my opinion. The rematch will go the same way, in my opinion. I'm sorry, obviously, I can't show you everything. It's because copyright. But with all this man, with all of what he's been through, with all the hate that he got from PBC fans and PBC fighters that said he wasn't going to be this or that, you know, top rank, Bob Arum saying he don't make him no money and, you know, he's got to do this and that. Now look at him. The man just did something that, in my opinion, puts him over Floyd Mayweather. And you can say all you want, well, Floyd fought Canelo when he was 23. Shouldn't the fact that Crawford moved up to Canelo's weight division, even though I consider Canelo a 160-pound fighter, still got to be happy for him.
Congratulations on a truly historical
see what people are saying.
win. What are you feeling right now?
All praise to the Lord above me. I got to give him all the praise. Because without him, I wouldn't be here. And I told y'all, I'm not here just by a coincidence. God blessed me, and he made this event. He made this night just for me, and I've been telling y'all that. It's not my fault. It's God.
You seemed to be outboxing him early, but the rounds were competitive through 4. Then in the 5th, he started picking up momentum, and he started to hit you cleanly, and it seems like you came out in the 6th intentionally to reassert yourself and stop his momentum. Is that accurate?
Toe with him.
Yeah, of course, man. Canelo's a great champion. You know, I got to take my hat off to him. He's a strong competitor. You know, like I said before, I got nothing but respect for Canelo. I'm a big fan of Canelo, and he fought like a champion today.
I can't remember another fighter whose legacy hinged so much this deep into their career on one night. Had you lost, people would have said, well, first time he fought, a great fighter, he couldn't do it. But you won. And now, at this moment, if you never fight again, this generation will say about you what the last one said about Floyd and what generations ago they said about Sugar Ray Robinson. They'll say, no one could have beaten our guy. Is this the last fight of your career?
Like I said before, I don't know. I got to sit down with my team, and we're going to talk about it.
Bud, do you have anything else you'd like to say to boxing fans around the world?
I just like to say thank you. Thank you to all the supporters. Thank you to all the haters. I appreciate every one of y'all. We made this a great event. Shout out to everybody that came to support Canelo. I appreciate all y'all coming to support me and this fella. I'm happy that he gets to make it home to his children.
Crowd.
I get to make it home to my children. And you know what I mean?
Stadium
hopefully everybody
fight.
be safe tonight.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era.
Yes.
Terrence Bud Crawford.
He is. Him, Usyk. He's pound for pound number 1 now. Is he not?
Canelo, as you have done your entire career, you took a huge risk tonight and then fought your heart out. What are you feeling right now?
I feel great. You know, primero que nada quiero dar las gracias a toda la gente que vino aquí a apoyarme como siempre. Muchísimas gracias. Y decirles que una derrota no me define. No me define. Al estar aquí yo ya gané. Y solamente quiero decir que ya gané porque tengo mi familia. En lo profesional he hecho muchísimas cosas. Entrené muy bien. Todo mi respeto para Crawford. Hice lo que tenía que hacer. Y al final de cuentas, a responder tu pregunta, aquí estoy para tomar riesgos. Vine a la vida a tomar riesgos, a ponerme a prueba y aquí seguiré.
First and foremost, I want to thank everyone that came to support me. It has always been behind me. I'm a winner for being here. I'm a winner for being here. There's no defeat here. The fact that I'm here makes me already a winner. I've done everything in my career.
Oh, now he don't want to
come
speak English.
To actually take risks, and that's what I did. I take risks.
And when the money fighter of an era is willing to fight everyone, you get a great era in boxing. Is Bud Crawford someone that you want to fight again? Do you feel like you could do better in a rematch than you did tonight?
Like I say to him, I feel great to share the ring with great fighters like him. And if we do it again, it's going to be great. But you know what? I'm glad to share the ring with great fighters. And I'm glad to be here. I already did a lot in boxing. I already accomplished a lot in boxing. My legacy is already there. And I am still taking risks because I love boxing.
If you continue, do you feel like this is still the Canelo Alvarez that we've all known and loved for all these years? Or do you feel like something's changed? Are you still the fighter
I'm going to talk about that.
No, I feel great. I feel great. I feel strong. You know, Crawford is a great fighter, a skilled fighter. And I get the credit to Crawford, obviously. And I feel great. I still feel the same.
Canelo Alvarez, the reason it's been such a pleasure to have you as the face of boxing is because of that. In victory and defeat, Canelo Alvarez is everything that's good about boxing. Thank you, Canelo.
A pleasure. Thank you. Que viva México, cabrones! ¡Ánimo!
The living legend Canelo Alvarez, for whom, as
So
Andre
listen,
Ward says, boxing is life, and it seems as though boxing is still life for him. He does say he wants.
I don't even know where to really begin. As I was saying earlier in the video, Terrence Crawford fought a magnificent fight. He took Canelo's best signature punches. Right hook to the body, left hook to the body, the arm punches, the straights to the face, overhand rights to the face. Everything. Stood toe-to-toe with him. Uppercuts. Everything. He did everything. He decisively beat Canelo. And what excuses can be made? He moved up. He never fought at 168. I know there's going to be all kind of excuses to discredit this man, and this and that. Canelo wasn't the same Canelo, but that weight. My concern was this: how was he going to be? I had two. How was he going to be able to take Canelo's punches? Because remember, he got rocked by smaller fighters like Aglidas Kavalauskas and Yorkis Gamboa. He proved that he can take the punches. Also, how was he going to be able to carry the weight around? And he didn't get tired. No, nothing. Canelo was chasing him around, but it wasn't like he was running. He was making sure to stay off the ropes. He was making sure when Canelo started closing in the move. There was a few times they were clinched, and, they were doing a feat of strength where one time Canelo picked him up off his feet. Each time Canelo would grab him after that, try to clinch, Crawford would immediately turn him. And I'll be very honest with you, the undercard was shit. I'm not going to say shit. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Jermaine Franklin got a gift decision. Fernando Vargas, Calum Walsh was... The production quality was really good. However, it is 1:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and people are still in the arena. That's the biggest problem. But this was run by Dana White, and UFC events usually run this weight, this late. So now Canelo's going to be getting cooked, and I hope this is not going to be the type of loss that will break Canelo. And maybe, this will also show why he didn't want to fight David Benavidez. I think David Benavidez would have outworked him. One thing you've noticed about Canelo, when it comes to his defeats, ooh, look at this. Did they do it? Did they do it? Come on. There you go. Ooh, there it is. Ooh. All the fighters that were able to beat him were master-class boxers. Terrence Crawford. Even the close fights. Terrence Crawford. Dmitry Bivol. Golovkin. It was a draw. A lot of people thought he won. Erislandy Lara. Mayweather. And as I said about the weight, I never really considered Canelo a real full-fledged 168-pounder. I just thought it was a comfortable weight for him to compete at. And I'm not disrespecting Canelo. People forget that I identified as a full-blooded Chicano for like 3 years. It wasn't until earlier this year I said, I'm just going to be black again because, I didn't want to get accidentally deported and sent to Alligator Island. But anyway, the point is, it's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's not a Chicano Mexican thing. It's not. It's just that, like I just said, you know what? Like if Crawford's able to be on the move, he's got the skill set. And also, let's just talk about it. Crawford, in my opinion, he's a left-handed fighter. He's a southpaw. He's not a right-handed fighter. He's a southpaw. He masquerades as, I'm really a right-handed. He's a southpaw. He don't even start his fights anymore at right-handed than adjust to southpaw because usually, if you notice, it would take him a little bit of time to adjust, and that's when he would get caught by guys like Kavalauskas, Dirijan, and Yorkis Gamboa. It would take him about a round or so once he switches to it would take him about a round or so to acclimate to the southpaw stance, but now he just starts to fight off that way. So he's a southpaw as far as I'm concerned. But I just knew, I said, you know what? Crawford's got the skill, like the boxing skill to be able to beat Canelo. Also, this is the first time Canelo has fought somebody that was close to his height. The last time before that was Miguel Cotto. Everyone else was at least 6 feet tall. And there was no catch weight, you know, and when it comes to the level of competition Canelo's been fighting, you know, the guys he's been knocking down like Edgar Berlanga, Jaime Munguia, they would set themselves up for the shots. Even Caleb Plant and Jamel Charlo. So now you got to think, right? They froze this man out at 147. People were always talking about he ain't fight nobody. But in reality, he ain't fighting nobody because, you know, the real 147-pound guys, because Al Haymon and PBC were keeping them away from him. Remember, they owned the 147-pound division and pretty much 140. And you know, PBC was on some hostile takeover NWO type shit. It's like, listen, you ain't coming over here with us. You don't get no matches. People were like, why don't you leave Bob Arum? Well, remember, Crawford was making something like $3.5 million, and this is according to lawsuit documents that were released online per fight on regular ESPN, which had Bob Arum bitching all the time about how much money he was losing on Crawford. Meanwhile, PBC fighters, not saying he wasn't making no money, but they'll get like $1 million guarantee, and that the pay-per-view hit a certain amount of whatever they get pay-per-view buys. So, when it came to guys like Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, he did eventually fight Sean Porter. But you got to understand the business practices of PBC at the time. Well, we got these in-house fights. Why try to work with them when they got to get a piece of the pot? But a lot of those guys was going about it all wrong, saying he was nothing and he don't deserve this, he didn't do this. And now look, the man's on top of the world. He stayed quiet, stayed humble, went out there and did his business, and now look what he got on Canelo, Israel Madrimov, Errol Spence. But this Errol Spence and Canelo, biggest, obviously, wins of his career. And do I think he's going to retire? I don't know. I think they're going to try to squeeze another rematch out of this. And finally, the man's a star. People didn't think he was going to be able to be here without being all brash and having to be all on social media and all that. And now look, even though you can say it was, well, you know, a lot of Mexican fans, at the end of the day, he beat Canelo in front of those Mexican fans in a sold-out stadium in Vegas on Netflix. I can't wait to see the ratings. The ratings might not be what they expected, but it's still going to be more than any pay-per-view of people watching. It's just that they just really fucked up with it being so late, you know? UFC can get away with this, but boxing fans have been getting tired of this, especially on the East Coast. For example, Inoue fights in a few hours. No, excuse me, Inoue's ring walk is supposed to be at 6:40 a.m. It's 2:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and as you can see, the event is still on and live. Well, look, boom, live. Glad my PC didn't crash. I don't know what to say. Let's go see what people are saying on social media again before I do a live stream and talk about this because, you know, Canelo got beat by a 147-pounder. And this is the type of win or loss for Canelo where it's like, what excuses can you really make? You got beat up and you got outboxed, and he was standing toe-to-toe with you. This may never happen again, especially with the changes that are coming in boxing. You know, 140, 168, 147. And he beat the man of the 147-pound division, the man of the 168-pound division. And at the time, Julius Ndago, his career's been shit since. But it's like, sheesh, you can't, like, I'm going to go ahead and say, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is a better win than anything Floyd Mayweather has ever done outside of making all the money. He stood toe-to-toe with him. And what are you going to say? Canelo's the old Canelo? Terrence Crawford turns 38 years old on September the 28th. He's 37 right now. People forget that. Canelo just turned 35 July the 18th. So you can't say he's old. But that's how Canelo always fights. You got to stay away from Canelo. Yes, Crawford was standing toe-to-toe, and he's special. But for a lot of lesser skilled fighters, pound for pound, no matter what weight you are, you got to stay away from him. Meaning Canelo, you got to stay away from him. And that's why, you know, a lot of people, include myself, even guys like Alexander Usyk, people wasn't wrong for thinking that Crawford had a chance to win because he has a very high ring IQ. It's not too many fighters out here in the sport today that we know of that really eat, sleep, breathe the sport. Guys like Usyk, Tank Davis. You know, I'm talking about some high ring IQ guys. You know, Tank Davis watches tape. Despite the Jake Paul stuff, like, guys watch his tape. You know, smart fighters. You know, you don't never see no drinks in their hand. I'm not saying Tank, but what I'm saying is you don't never see them drunk or acting up out in public. No, none of that. They eat, breathe, and live the sport. So the way he's fighting, he can still go on and fight. So what does he do? Go back down to 154? What does he do? I mean, sheesh. I was concerned about the body shots, though. I thought they were going to cause Crawford some problems. But no, and also he was rolling with a lot of them, too. And he still kept his hand speed. And one thing you notice about Terrence Crawford is when he starts doing that upper body movement, that's how you can tell he gets comfortable. Or he is comfortable. Like, crazy fight. I'm TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. I'm going to do a live stream. And yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of hate and shit posted online tonight. I know people are in tears. That's why I put this up. Because I have to only assume that this is how Canelo fans are feeling right now. You know, just Judgment Day, straight the highway to hell. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TstreeT Controversy.